I'm kind of rambling here, but you know what I'm talking about. So, looking around here, now we even see some stick bombers on the field right now, which is an odd choice as well. I don't usually get to see them used very much. I think he just needs to go back to the basics here. He needs a ranged unit. He needs some sort of a vehicle other than a Def Dread. And here we have the Melt-A-Bomb going onto that Def Dread right now. And again, it's good to get the Melt-A-Bomb up there, but he shouldn't be forcing the issue with melee, because that Def Dread is really going to just shred these guys. And now you can see the Tank Busters are intent on just destroying everybody. I believe that this squad has been upgraded to have a Sergeant as well, but you can see they're just taking so much damage. Just retreat away, use another Melt-A-Bomb later. It'll take them too long to repair that Def Dread. Def Dread is running, though, so that's okay. But I need to see some more units here out of Vincent. Vincent's at $500 right now. We'll have to see what he's saving up for. He is at tier 2. We can see that the War Boss down here capping this victory point as well. I haven't even really spoken about the victory points yet because it is 0-0. 251 points right now for Muho, 379 for Vincent. You can see here that this Def Dread is just kind of waddling around here, not really doing anything. Now it's engaging in melee right now. There we go. I'd love to see another Melt-A-Bomb out of these guys as soon as they can. Whoa, but that Def Dread is just really wrecking into these guys right now. And again, I don't understand. Vincent needs to understand, rather, what counters what here. And in this situation, he does not have an edge right now, and I think he's just not really aware of that. This Def Dread is just basically uncountered at this stage of the game, having totally wrecked all of these units right now. Now, granted, the Tank Busters were also being pretty chopped up right there, but now you can see how overextended this Apothecary is. Oh, God, like one more shot out of that or flame. Yep, there it goes, and the Apothecary goes down. Tactical Marines have nothing to say to this guy in melee. Right now, they have to get on out of there. Tactical Marines, oh, God, maybe going to try and, oh, it looks like trying to resupply here. Maybe that's a drop pod coming in. Right on top of his own troops. Ouch! You can see taking a bit of damage there as well. And just chasing away that Def Dread. Def Dread probably could have just hung out there and fought away at these guys the whole time there, though. So let's see what's been going on here. The War Boss down here is chopping away at this power node. And let me take a look at Muho right now. 451 power. Getting a second Def Dread, which is kind of insane. No upgrades on the War Boss. That's also a huge oversight right there. At the very least, get Angry Bits. There's a bunch of other good upgrades you could be getting. Custom shooter, stuff like that, but definitely not useful to have 0 on that guy so far and only using him to cap away. He's a tank. You want him charging into combat and knocking people over and giving you guys an edge. Oh, for the first time in this game, however, we are seeing the Tactical Marines now using their flamers. No, use the flamers. Back up. Oh, God, don't engage them in melee. There we go. Back up a little bit, and there we go. Got to go ahead and do some gen bashing here. So this is always a good move, but this late in the game, it doesn't really do that much, though. Honestly, if he's been scouting around, he would know that there are 6 generators up right now for the Orc player. And the Orc player has a ton of power in the bank. Obviously, you can't know how much power your opponent has in the bank, but at this point in the game, you can guess that it's a lot. Second Def Dread on the field right now. Kind of insane. I don't really know why you want that. I totally didn't even see what the hell ended up happening to those stick boys, obviously. He had those stick bomba boys, and they all died at some point during one of those fights, having done absolutely nothing. So, second Def Dread is on the field right now, but this is really a bad decision here for Muho. Muho is just inviting a counter at this point. You know, pretty much all of his units right now would be wrecked by something like a Devastator Plasma team or a Last Cannon team or something like that. He could pick off all those vehicles, do a lot of damage. Dreadnought is not the answer, though. Dreadnought is nice because it's something else to fight in close combat, but he's just kind of building random units at this point of the game right now. And looks like we have another Luda squad on the field as well. I kind of like the Ludas at this point, but you only really need one. War Boss now could be leading the charge. He could be doing a lot, or at least he could be stomping right now. No, but he's going to do nothing of it. Make sure to always use those abilities. And if he had Angry Bits, he could have gone flying in there, knocking some guys over. So now we have the Def Dread versus the unupgraded Dreadnought. But the Dreadnought is, of course, having to fight these Tank Busters, who are just slamming into that Dreadnought right now, doing a lot of damage. And I like the fact that that barrage was knocking back those gentlemen back there as well. This poor War Boss, however, is just getting his beat down on right there. And this Dreadnought, no, taking so much damage. Again, the Dreadnought totally uncalled for. He knew there were Tank Busters out there. Definitely not useful in this situation at all. Double Dreadnoughts right now, against all odds, are going to come in here and wreck these guys. This is totally uncountered. The Tank Busters, despite the fact that they're just blasting away their own guys. Whoa, look at this gentleman here flying around the map. That guy really got knocked away. That happens every now and then. But so that was a poor decision. Vincent really needs something else going on right here, and Muho is very precariously balanced because he's frankly getting insane units as well. The double Def Dreads right now. However, I know it seems odd that I'm sitting here constantly criticizing these Def Dreads, even though all they're doing is destroying his opponent. But still, you'd have to expect that in some games, the double Def Dread strategy is only good if you expect your opponent to make a mistake and not counter them appropriately, because having two of them like this, very open. We have the Luda squad moving on up, though. That looks pretty okay. Getting good position here. Ooh, and do we have a war truck? Oh, he canceled the war truck. That's exactly what I wanted to see. And Vincent is going for tier 3 right now. Single assault squad now. Looks like just going to decap this point up here. Let's see what's right next to them right now is some Slugga Boys who unfortunately want to cap this victory point more than anything. It is tied 1-1 right now with Vincent is way ahead of the game. So despite the fact that Muho is pretty much in charge of the battlefield right now, he hasn't been capitalizing on it in any way. He has all of these units right now. He's got the Slugga Boys with the flamethrowers. He's got the Def Dread with the flamethrowers. Hasn't once touched this power generator over here. Hasn't tried to cap the victory points very well either. So he really needs to turn that around. There's no excuse at this point in the game to be so far behind in victory points. Here we go. This is sort of what I want to see here. Yeah, okay, tank busters work too. I'd rather see some flamethrowers come over here and just really turbo burn this whole place down. But, you know, I guess he probably wants to capture it, but that seems a little greedy. I think it's better just to take it out. He has more than enough power. 735 power. Yeah, he's got plenty of power. So let's see what's going on here. It looks like the assault squad that was up here gen bashing has just bumped into those Slugga Boys who are trying to cap that victory point. Unfortunately, chasing them all the way back to the base. Never do that. You're never going to kill them all, and you're just going to end up getting suppressed by one of these orc turrets here. I think it looks like he forgot about these troops. That's not good. Hopefully he'll rocket on out of there or something. Yes, that's what we want to see, because he doesn't want to retreat home at this point, because these guys are doing a pretty good job back capping stuff here. Meanwhile, the orcs have a nice perimeter in the front of the base, but they're not doing anything with it. They're not doing anything. Cap this stuff. Cap this point right now, for the love of God. Perhaps his APM is just taxed to the max. Here we have the Tactical Marine Squad, however, with the rocket launcher. That's what I wanted to see. Missile launcher will make short work of a Def Dread right now, but unfortunately he's firing at the wrong units. Just stop moving. Stop moving. Just turn and fire on that Def Dread. That's what you need to do right now. Oh, first shot goes right into the dirt, but if he had started firing earlier, he could have been doing a lot of damage here. This poor Apothecary is just being beat to hell right now. There we go. First solid contact made with the Def Dread. I think the Def Dread is deciding actually he wants to get the heck on out of there right now. One last shot. Oh, doing some pretty good damage here. Will he get another shot on these guys, though? I'm going to try and capture all of this action right here. One last rocket shot, and oh, he leaves it at just a sliver of hit points here. Perhaps there's something else around here that could do it. We do have some Assault Marines coming in from the top there. That could work out pretty well here. Tank busters just kind of flinging around this way and that. Assault Marines charging on in. I think they're going to see that Def Dread. Yeah, there we go. Melt the bomb on the really wounded Def Dread. Whoops, I'm scanning away from that. And, oh, God, that looks really good right now. Now you can see the Assault Marines just totally took out that Slugga Boy squad and took out the Def Dread. This other Def Dread here completely picked off. Again, this one anti-vehicle unit was all it took to end that. And I'm happy that that finally happened, only because I've been kind of complaining about that the whole time. But here we have the Apothecary just kind of healing himself up right there. Now these tank busters really have nothing to do. They're just going to kind of knock back guys. You can see the suppression is okay here. Hopefully these Assault Marines will come down from the hill right now and just kind of even things up. But the score is pretty neatly tied, and look at how patchwork the map is right now. There have just been caps just happening all over the place right now. So it looks like the Assault Marines charging on in. I'd love to see these Tactical Marines just kind of move on up and try and flank these guys, maybe even engage them in melee. Assault Marines are getting quite beat up here, but they killed almost all of the tank busters. Oh, God, somebody get that last tank buster. Oh, well, at this point, I'm just kind of splitting hairs. But it looks like the battle has been won by Vincent for the time being here, sort of against all odds. And oh no, please, not another Def Dread. Muho, if getting 2 Def Dreads and then losing them both was crazy, getting a 3rd Def Dread after all of that is very crazy. He's got Tank Busters, Ludas, and Slugga Boys, and a 3rd Def Dread. That's not going to be... That's not going to win him the game here. So at this point in the game, all Vincent needs to do is spread back out and cap stuff. You can see he's being triple capped right now. He needs to grab these victory points. We're late enough into the game that that'll really, really matter. It's 156 points right now for Muho, 124 for Vincent, and counting down rapidly. So hopefully we'll see him spread back out. He's grabbing power again, which is, you know, that's okay. He has a lot of money in the bank, though. Whoops, I'm hiding everything around here. 780 points in the bank right now. Just a lot of stuff he could be spending on. Another Luda squad. That seems kind of insane as well, too. I think Muho is just getting kind of crazy with his late game picks here. We'll have to see if he's going to be able to cap that. No, Tactical Marines backing away. There we go. Assault Marines charging on top of these Slugger Boys right now. Definitely going to send them running, but they need to cap this victory point. For the love of God, cap the victory point. He's hovering at 79 points. And down here in the south, it looks like the Scout Squad is going to cap this requisition point as well. So Muho needs something else. The Luda Boys are going to be too slow. Oh, no, and he's getting a third squad of Ludas. Oh, God, that's just insane. I don't know why he's getting it all. Unfortunately, I think he really won this game. And then he just started replacing his units with unnecessary units. And that's ultimately what's going to cost him the game here. Scouts moving up. Ooh, shotgun. Yep, just kind of chilling out here and threatening a 3-cap right now. It looks like he's standing around with his whole army. Muho needs to move on out. He needs to come up with a plan right now, but he realizes his whole army is kind of slow and ungainly. And now his whole army is pretty vulnerable to melee, it looks like, other than the Death Dread, obviously. We have a Razorback on the field right now for Vincent as well. That's certainly helpful. That'll help him move around and backcap some stuff, and the suppression will be okay, but honestly, there's a lot of anti-vehicle stuff out there, so unless he's planning on using it to just be sneaky and cap stuff, I don't really like that at all. Oh God, is this Terminators? It's got to be Terminators coming right now. Yes, it is. And oh, this is kind of a bad move here. Terminators unsupported, although they might very well be able to take out this War Boss if they're lucky. Yes, the War Boss goes down. Okay, that's fine. The Apothecary should not be fighting this Death Dread for sure. Terminators need to make up their mind who they're fighting exactly. You can see right now they're in kind of the worst position, which is being sprayed by missiles and by heavy bolter fire from all directions, actually. They're being set upon by all of these looters. You know, I'm constantly being made into such a hypocrite here, because here I am criticizing all of these units, and yet they're all doing a fine job on the battlefield. So I think that's kind of the problem there. Using that teleport ability really poorly there, teleporting to the exact same spot. The Terminators at this point are just tanking right now. But now you can see, I'm guessing that was Hard Boys that was used there. Nope, yeah, it looks like they were suppressing. They were using the, the aiming what's that ability. No, I'm sorry, they suppress anyways. Don't listen to me. I'm just calling out random orc abilities at this point in the game because I, like the people I am watching, am a complete noob, but that's fine. So, Assault Marines here, finally jumping away, doing some pretty good damage there. The Terminators are just getting beat apart here. Obviously, the Power Fists are going to do a pretty good job against the Death Dread, but they started really late with that endeavor, and now you can see they're taking quite a few casualties here. Gonna have to retreat away. Oh, getting knocked around by this Death Dread. Oh, gee. Oh, God, somebody just attacked that Death Dread. Oh, man, everybody is so fragile right now. The Assault Marines were just wrecked by a combination of forces here. But while all of this is going on, oh, by the way, look at that. Oh, we get to see a Death Dread pick up a Terminator and fling him aside. We have, looks like the Razorback is going to come in here, get annihilated by rockets, and then die a quick death here. But it doesn't matter, because guess what? The whole time that was going on, everybody was focused on the battle, just like I was, and the victory points counted down anyways. 2-1, so 68 points goes to Vincent. So both players here made countless mistakes, but that makes these games very interesting, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching that sort of thing. I think Muho won the game early on and then just slowly lost it throughout the rest of the game there, even though he was kind of doing a pretty good job here in the late game. So anyhow, once again, ladies and gentlemen, I am Harlequin. I hope you'd enjoyed all of these newbie games. If you want to submit games to me, just send them to HarlequinCasts@gmail.com. All that stuff is in my channel description. The biggest help you can do, though, is just tell me a little bit about the games, and just send me one game. Don't send me like 8 games and be like, oh, here, view all of these. No, just send me one game, tell me about why it was interesting, and just kind of the basic details. Who was in it, you know, what races, what heroes, that sort of thing. And I'd love to give it a look for future Newbie Tuesdays. Anyhow, Harlequin here. Please subscribe if you enjoyed this, and I'll talk to you guys in next